Creatrix. So this is the last time you're going to feel the way you do. So I just, if it's okay, just want to ask you a couple of questions about how you're feeling now so that we can get a really good gauge of where you're at. So that once we move through, you can see just how far you've come.
Well, you asking that makes me want to like cry because I like feel like I don't want to be in this spot anymore. So when I'm out of it, I'm going to feel really good. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And so I'm sad, but at the same time, I'm sad. I guess they're happy tears because I don't want to feel like I am feeling all these years. So once I do feel better, I can't wait to be able to share my love, and obviously I'm going to feel so much better in life and be able to love people more and feel love. So I don't know what else to say other than like looking really forward to feeling better and just having a different life, like a different aspect in life and how I view everything. So
what do you feel like you're struggling with the most?
I think just finding happiness within me, and to actually find happiness within me, then I can find happiness within everything around me, right? Things that should make me happy aren't making me happy. So at the end of the day, I know it's not something that's someone's done or what's happening around me, but it's really me inside that's not happy to be enjoying life and things that have happened to me. Because if I really do put thought into it, I know I'm very fortunate and have so many things that so many people don't have. So I should really be feeling a lot better than I do. So just inner happiness is what I'm aiming for here. And that's, I really look forward to having that feeling, because I'm going to say I probably have never felt it, right?
What are you expecting from Creatrix?
I want Creatrix to be able to get me to a spot where I'm comfortable and confident in me as a person, for me to be able to reach my goals and everything that I've been scared to do and try and achieve just because of things that have held me back. So things like me thinking I'm not good enough, having the fear of what could possibly go wrong, and all those things that I have in me right now that have kept me in the same spot. So I want Creatrix to get me to the point where I can be in that spot where I can just achieve things that I feel in my heart I know I have passion for, and I just haven't done it because of fear. So that's what I want Creatrix to get me to. And again, just this whole thing of feeling happy in life and for everything that I have. Yeah, I guess not really knowing what true or deserving means, or what I deserve is the other thing, right? Like why do I deserve it compared to somebody else, right? Why there's people starving in the other side of the world, and I have a home, I have food, I have family, friends, and why do I deserve more happiness than what I already should have, right? But I don't feel it, which is the part that's has me very stuck.
Why have you chosen now to make a change and to do this?
I think because I've tried so many different modalities to get to a point where I feel good, physically and mentally, and I've yet to come across anything that has got me there. And just going through and seeing your podcast, and it really did resonate with me personally. So I decided I need to do something and move forward, and I was ready to make a change. So even though it was a lot of fear, and obviously I didn't tell anybody because I felt like they were going to hold me back and protect me from not going to spend money and this and that. And I just, something in my heart told me to keep going forward with it. So yeah, that's exactly the feeling. It's probably why my stomach was hurting today. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going through with this, right?
What are you looking forward to the most?
Just having freedom to do things without feeling like I'm going to be judged for doing anything, or having that pressure in me or that anxiety of what if I should have done this or could have, or just, I think like me having fear of doing things, any type of fear, whether it's fear of someone doing something to me or me offending anybody. It's just, I'm just going to have so much more clear mind to be able to think and do things I want to do, as opposed to so much thing going on in my head that are interrupting my thinking. I feel like a lot of times I can't focus and I can't do things, or like internalize and like actually remember things, because I have too many other things happening in my head. So I feel like that's a big one for me. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that feeling for sure. I think I've gotten to the point that I just can't manage. I guess all these years I've been able to slide through it, just obviously not the best way possible, but because I've been so much busier, it was easier to kind of put it behind me and ignore it. Was still obviously repressing all those feelings and whatnot, but being distracted. Now that this pandemic happened, I guess it's a good thing, because I've been able to take it all in and realize these things that have been holding me back for so long, right? So
you know what? The thing I noticed most was me like being so like fidgety and like anxious. Wow, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then also the fact that I wasn't like, I kept saying, I feel like I was saying the same thing over and over, that everything was just like piled up. I almost feel kind of bad that I put myself through that for so many years.
Kind of feel bad for myself there.
I shouldn't feel bad because I fixed her.
Just with like the actions that I've been taking these last couple of weeks are so different from what I would have taken prior to, like how I mentioned about doing things or not being worried about what someone's going to say, this or that. It's crazy, right? I don't know. I don't have really words for it now. Just it's hard to like put myself in that place now that I felt so down.
How would you describe yourself looking back? How would you describe what that person felt, what she was like?
She looked like very like lost in life, and like I just felt really bad because like I'm obviously the one that put myself through all that, right? I'm so grateful that I did this, because like obviously as much as I'm saying, okay, she's this and that, but if she didn't go and step up and want to change, then I wouldn't be here. But yeah, it's just like there's just so much lost hope and no desire to like live life, right? So that's probably the saddest part about it.
It's hard to feel them and be able to describe how I exactly felt. But I do remember obviously that I was very like down and just ready to not do anything and just not really want to live life anymore. So
how would you describe yourself now?
I have so much more energy. I don't know where this energy came from, but I definitely have a lot more energy. I feel like I'm more focused in things. I know I'm still working from home, but I just have more focus on what I'm doing. It's not so much distractions that I have going on everywhere here and there, and just definitely more calm. That's one thing I've noticed. Like my anxiety is a lot better, and that my pain is better as well. It's better because I'm dealing with it better mentally, and just I feel like I'm getting along. I don't know if getting along is the word, but just being more understanding of other people and not feeling like I'm like judging them because they're not being nice enough, or I'm not being nice enough. Like I'm not doing that anymore. And just overall, just the more positive thinking that has been really the biggest thing for me on my self-talk that I have all the time. Yeah. And now I can walk through the forest without being so scared. Now I just look for the squirrels and try to give them peanuts before the winter comes, because then they're gonna hibernate. So.
And this was prior to doing this all together. Every few days I felt like I should cry a little or let go of something. And now that I'm like, okay, maybe I should try and
see if I can release something, but I don't have any like anything holding me down or I don't have any urge to cry, which is
And so knowing how you feel now and being on the other side, what would you say the value of Creatrix is?
I can't find the right word right now, but it's worth everything, right? Because it changes your life, right? It's something that you don't realize until you go through it, right? Because as much as I was initially like, okay, I want to do this, I still had I wasn't certain that it was going to work and whatnot. So you kind of have to go through it to realize the difference it makes in your life until I got to this point. Otherwise, through the process or at the beginning of the process, it was like, okay, well, I hope this works, like everything else, right? And so now it's just like, you can't really put a figure or something like, oh, okay, I spent this much to feel better, because it's like, it's changed my life and will continue to make me feel better and for me to strive and just be so much happier and more fulfilled in life. So through so much suffering, but I mean, it's like well worth it, because you kind of have to get to that point where you can't take anymore to try something that you probably think might not work, right?
So what would you say to any women out there feeling like you did?
Don't give up on wishing for a better life, because it's possible. We have so much more to give in life, and we just need to be fulfilled ourselves before we can really experience life. I think taking this step for myself, not being selfish and thinking, yeah, I can use this towards something else, blah, 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 whatever it was that I was thinking at that point, and really investing in myself, which at the end of the day is what's most important. It's going to make a world of a difference, which I've already noticed with my own thoughts alone, that's made a difference. But just in all my decisions moving forward are just going to be so much more fulfilling and more true to myself, as opposed to what I thought I had to do my whole life. So I would definitely just go out there and try my best to figure it out. And doing this was probably my I don't know how I came across your podcast randomly. If it's destiny, right? When things have to happen, they do. And I just took the leap, and I had faith. So the first couple of days coming up to the session was most difficult, right? So it was kind of like back and forth. I was like, well, should I do this? Should I not? Blah, blah, blah. And your thoughts always thinking. The negative ones that I had so many of before were just taking over, right? So I guess once you get past that and get into that first session where I realized that I already had results in the first session, was kind of what pushed me through. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I stick to all the exercises and everything. It's just like, you also have to dedicate yourself to, right? Yeah. And if you want to be there, you're going to try your best to be there, right? So that's the most important part, wanting to change. So it was just kind of like a spiral. It just kept going down and down until I don't know how I would dig myself out of it, but I would. And now it's just, I definitely do not go that route ever. So that's amazing for sure. Can't believe I had so much holding me down, right? So it feels kind of strange, or like kind of surreal that I'm like, oh my God, I had such a long list of things that were really stopping me from being my authentic self and actually appreciating myself and loving myself, as opposed to always putting myself down and everything. So it's nuts. That's exactly it. I remember like the first session we had at night when I was in my bed, that was like the first time I realized how it was affecting me, because I was like, I got into bed and then the thoughts that were coming to my mind were like completely different from what I'm used to hearing when I would go to sleep. And it's just like, it's crazy. Even like my daily mornings where I would wake up and already was like in a bad mood, and this was hurting, that was hurting. It was just all like negative talk, and it's gone away through the weeks, and I kind of haven't even noticed it. But when I do pay attention, obviously it's gone away. So yeah. Was I really complaining that much? But like, if I think about it, yes, I was, because I connected to all my pains, right? So my pains are not as bad, but they're still there. But like, I'm not like, you know, all mopey and mad at everybody because they're there like I was all the time. So yeah, it's unbelievable actually. All I really wanted was to like get rid of my neck pain and didn't realize I had so many other things and burdens holding me down, right? So my state of mind is just a lot more like calmer, because I'm not so like constantly thinking, okay, what I'm gonna do in like half an hour, what I have to do, what I have to like. That was another big one for me too, right? That I was always thinking of what was coming up, and I was always so anxious about that. So it's been an amazing experience. So I'm so thankful that you've put me through this, and I was able to get through it. And without a doubt, you guided me the right way, and I never wanted to turn back. So thank you.